Good morning, traders. Bienvenue, hola, buenos dias. So welcome, I'm Adam Harris, and this is your opening bell. So having a look at the major economic calendar news that is coming out today, most of the focus, there's going to be some core CPI coming out from Canada at 1:30 p.m. UK time. But mainly, a lot of the focus is going to be coming out of the US around about 3 o'clock and 3:30, where there's going to be some consumer confidence, existing home sales, as well as crude oil inventories. My focus is really going to be on the consumer confidence and the existing home sales, really just to keep all eyes on how is this potential recession going. If we then have a look at other events going on, so for example, in terms of earnings, we've got Toro, which I thought was very funny because it's bull. It means bull. And then obviously we've got Carnival Corporation and we have Neogen today. And then in terms of dividends, we've got Getty, Philip Morris, and then there's really not much else happening. There'll probably be less happening between now and January the 1st, start to quieten down. Now, if we then go and have a look at the charts, very interesting. So this week I was anticipating a stronger dollar. We've actually had a weakening dollar. It's not a bad thing. It's just that prepared based off that very, very strong finish for last week, the expectation was to see a bit of that follow through. That's the normal thing that happens the majority of the time. So it is still a possibility. However, it's very nice to see that actually that dollar has continued to weaken. We've also seen that dollar yen. We've actually seen dollar yen. The charts itself has continued to head lower. A lot of the yen pairs heading a lot lower. So we've seen euro dollar start to climb, GBP dollar start to climb. The Australian dollar is quite weak at the moment. What's interesting to me is actually looking at the US dollar against the Russian ruble. We've started to see some activity there again. We haven't seen much at all for a couple of months now. I find that interesting because that implies that there's some sort of trade happening. And I was still aware that, I'm aware that there's still sanctions going on. So I find it very interesting. There's enough there to actually move the markets. Then having a look at, say, gold. Gold had a phenomenal day yesterday. And in fact, it should continue to push through today as well. We've got silver has also had a relatively good day yesterday. In fact, interesting enough, a lot of the other commodities, copper, wheat, coffee, so these are the futures markets as well, sugar, cotton, almost all of them have actually had relatively strong days yesterday. And there's a very fair possibility that today they will continue to the upside. Just have a look at crude oils. Crude oils also, even though they really haven't broken to the highs, they're drifting a little bit higher. They're still not in a confirmed uptrend, but that may well happen. For me, though, I was saying that the trend itself was relatively bearish. I'm still prepared for them to double top on the daily and therefore continue down and head a little bit lower. If we have a look at the global indices are trying to find support where they are. The only one that actually headed significantly lower is the Australian ASX. And otherwise, most of the markets managed to drop a little bit and then finish a little bit higher. So that's good. What I want to see today is to see us break yesterday's highs and close even higher. If we fail to do that, obviously we close lower today. The implication is exactly what I've been talking about from the weekend, is we're going to see those markets finish lower. In terms of equities, there was some actual mixed performances yesterday. There was some that managed to hold their ground and close a little bit higher. There was some that managed to finish a little bit lower. So we had, it's a mixed bag. It would seem that it's predominantly tech stocks that are taking quite a bit of a beating. And of course, the one that is just a bit of a concern the most, of course, is Tesla. Tesla was selling right up until the close. It's very rare to see a stock selling right up until the close. There's no wick at the bottom. There was no bounce. This thing was just heavily selling. And the implication is also that that's going to continue today. So it does appear to have $125 set in its sight. That's kind of just frightening. It's just quite a big drop in the last week or two, sorry. And then finally, just have a look at bonds. Bonds now appear to be encountering resistance, and they also appear to be turning and heading a little bit lower. So that's for the US 10-year as well as the Euro bond. And then finally, all of those are going to also see a bit of an impact on cryptos. We're going to see cryptos likely struggle to go higher. We will see them head a little bit lower, especially if equities are heading lower today. So there could be a bit of a mixed bag today in terms of which way the markets go. So traders are probably going to be extra cautious just because there is still that possibility of that dollar strengthening. But for now, it actually does appear as though those existing trends are still very much intact. So there we go. I want to wish you a fantastic day, and I will chat to you in future videos. Thank you.